Our mind is not comfortable with the unknown, but we like to peg everything in categories, write it off, and move on. When we don't know what something is, it keeps niggling away at your mind until you get the answer. My name is Rob Freeman, and I've got a number of things that I have done and are doing. One of those is really a passion project, and it's a documentary we're doing, making contact, be inspired, and we're going around the world meeting people who've had experiences and seen strange things in the sky. When I was a kid, 12 years old, we lived in Sarnia. I was at Scouts, and I called my mom, we're finished. She told me to go outside. I did. I was waiting outside. And as I came out the door, there were these young kids playing in the street, and they said to me, "Hey, mister, there's a helicopter up in the sky." And I looked at this thing in the sky, and I said to the kids, "That's not a helicopter." I watched this thing, waiting for my mom to arrive. It was up at about 800 feet, and it was going from the north to the south. Each time it came back, it got a little bit lower. But as it got lower, I could see this bigger light in the bottom. And what really kind of creeped me out is I could see things moving behind the light. And I thought, how can that be? We don't have anything like this. She arrived, I said, "Mom, you got to get out of the car and look at this. There's a UFO up in the sky." She says, "Oh, don't be silly, Rob." I said, it's an ET. Get out of the car." She got out of the car. We both looked up. Gone. Went to school the next day. When I arrived home, my mom was all excited. And she says, Rob, what you saw last night's all over the paper." I was just happy that what I saw was validated, that it wasn't somehow my imagination, that I wasn't making it up. Through the years, I've wondered about this. Did we see something extraterrestrial? I never really had that question answered of what I saw. So many years later, which is literally just a few years ago, a friend of mine, Mark McNabb, and he said, "We're going to travel around the world. We're going to meet people who do a similar thing, and we're going to see ET craft. We're going to film." We had gone out to BC to meet a fellow by the name of Charles Lamroux. Went up to Britannia Beach. We talked to a couple ladies in the gift shop, and they said, if you go a few miles north to Squamish, BC, they see all kinds of stuff around the mountain there. The mountain's a sacred mountain. It's called the Chief. So we went to the Squamish area, and we were there for about 8 hours. And at exactly 10:59 p.m. on that day, one of the members of our group, Breslin, she just happened to see a light moving in the sky. And she said, "What's that?" So I quickly turned on my night vision zoom camera, and I started following it. And I thought in my mind, do I chance turning on all the other cameras? Because I have to move my eye away from the viewfinder of the camera. I thought, better to just go one camera, and it's a sure thing, rather than all the other cameras and maybe get it. I've been heavily criticized for only having one video of the Squamish orb, but it's like, hey, I got video. There is such a thing as orbs. NASA's been studying them for years. They know exactly what they are, but they're not really allowed to say. Are they UFOs? Are they ETs? Like, what are these orbs? And the fellow from NASA said, well, not exactly. He said, these orbs are more like life itself. Our mind is not comfortable with the unknown, but we like to peg everything in categories, write it off, and move on. When we don't know what something is, it keeps niggling away at your mind until you get the answer. You want to find out what it is. There is 5% out there that's unexplained, and that's the 5% that we're going after. For me, this is a passion project. I love it. I love what we're doing, and we'd like to share it with other people.